A 72-year-old patient once confided in me, "Doc, I've been doing it the same way for 50 years, but lately something feels off." He was neither ill nor under the influence of new medications, yet what was subtly undermining his body? Self-exploration. It wasn't the action itself that caught attention, but rather the manner in which he executed it. Unbeknownst to him, it was silently damaging his heart, his prostate, and even his capacity to experience emotions. I am Dr. Michael Harrison, a urologist with more than 6 decades of experience dedicated to assisting men over 60 in preserving their strength, circulation, and confidence, all without shame, pills, or uncertainty. It has been suggested that certain practices are beneficial, yet beyond the age of 60, some personal routines may insidiously turn detrimental, often without any noticeable indicators. In this video, I will uncover 7 common errors that older men often encounter during masturbation, along with solutions to rectify them before they impact your energy, performance, or long-term health. And the 6th error is the one nearly every man misjudges. Let us embark on this journey. Before we embark on this journey, if you haven't yet subscribed, now is the perfect moment to click that button and activate the bell, ensuring you stay updated with future insights crafted for men over 60. If this video resonates with you, please leave a 1 in the comments. If it fails to do so, enter a 0. Your insights enable me to craft more engaging content tailored to your preferences. Let us delve deeper into the initial error, a misstep that has increasingly surfaced in recent times, subtly altering the ways in which your mind and body react to pleasure. Throughout the years, numerous men, typically in their late 60s or early 70s, have taken a seat opposite me, each bearing a similar unspoken worry. "Doctor, it seems I have lost the ability to feel deeply. It feels as though my body is succumbing to a strange numbness, and the reason eludes me." Frequently, I pose to them a straightforward inquiry. "How frequently do you find yourself depending on pornography?" And nearly every occasion, their gaze falls, not out of shame, but rather from a lack of awareness that it could be causing harm. As one reaches the age of 60, the brain's dopamine system, responsible for the sensations of pleasure and motivation, begins to lose its former sharpness and flexibility. Observing an unceasing stream of rapid, intense adult visuals inundates your mind with a level of stimulation far beyond its natural capacity. As you engage in that routine day after day, week after week, your mind begins to adjust in the most detrimental manner imaginable. It starts to dull its own senses. The essence of what you once cherished, that genuine organic connection of intimacy, begins to diminish. The sensation of touch has transformed, no longer resonating as it once did. Your body no longer reacts with the same swiftness. Even in the presence of physical health, the capacity to forge deep connections and experience genuine emotions gradually fades into the background. What adds to the sorrow is that numerous older men hold themselves accountable. They believe that age has simply taken its toll on them. Yet, in reality, it is not age. It is an overwhelming barrage of stimuli. Should you fail to recalibrate your brain's response system, this pervasive numbness may persist for years, perhaps even decades. If you've observed a decline in sensitivity, connection, or satisfaction, it's important not to overlook it. This initial error could very well be the concealed cause of everything that follows. What's even more astonishing is that the next misstep is not about the content you consume, but rather the setting in which you engage with it, and how that environment quietly undermines your well-being in ways that most men fail to anticipate. Error 2. Engaging in self-pleasure while perched upon the porcelain throne. At first glance, this may appear to be innocuous, perhaps even practical. Throughout the years, I've engaged in conversations with numerous older men who, in hushed tones, confess that the bathroom has transformed into their sanctuary. More than mere cleanliness, it serves as a means of liberation. It is a sanctuary of solitude, a place where interruptions cease, the door secures its secrets, and the rhythm of daily life finds comfort in familiarity. However, what many fail to understand is that engaging in masturbation while seated, particularly on the toilet, can cause more damage than one might assume. With the passage of time, The preservation of circulation emerges as a vital system to safeguard for men. The circulation of blood serves as the cornerstone for vibrant sexual health, the well-being of the prostate, and the capacity to rejuvenate following climax. However, remaining seated for long durations, particularly in the hunched, constricted posture that many men adopt while on the toilet, limits blood circulation to the pelvic area. It exerts pressure on the prostate, constricts the pelvic floor, and delicately harms the nerves that have become increasingly vulnerable with age. The pattern has revealed itself to me with striking clarity. Men in their late 60s and 70s may experience swelling, post-urination dribbling, challenges in fully emptying the bladder, or discomfort in the groin. Yet they often fail to associate these symptoms with this intimate routine. As a urologist who has meticulously examined the scans, listened to the narratives, and tracked the outcomes, I can assure you that this seemingly innocuous position can trigger a gradual chain reaction, ultimately diminishing the quality of both intimacy and urination as time progresses. The answer is straightforward. It is fundamentally a question of consciousness. If this resonates with you, it may be time to transform your surroundings. Rise. Lean back. Allow your pelvic area the freedom to expand and flow. Believe me, your prostate is silently pleading for you to cease the pressure. Prepare yourself, for if you found the previous error astonishing, the next revelation will leave you utterly speechless. It's an action that many older men engage in, often without a second thought, and it is subtly reshaping their body to experience diminished sensations each time they seek pleasure. Error 3. Rushing the experience. One of the most prevalent tendencies I observe in older men, particularly those who have endured years of stress, routine, or have simply adapted to a life of speed and silence, is the hurried approach to the experience of self-pleasure. They approach it as if it were merely a task to finish, a fleeting instance to endure, rather than an experience to be embraced in its entirety. However, there lies the dilemma. Once you reach the age of 60, your body begins to struggle with functioning effectively under pressure, both physically and emotionally. Patients have expressed to me, "Doc, that they simply want to see it through. I cannot afford to dawdle." However, in haste, you propel your nervous system into a realm of tension. Your heart races with alarming speed. The blood vessels tighten. The relaxation and hormonal advantages of release, oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, fail to achieve their utmost potential. Your peak may be reached, yet your body remains devoid of the genuine fulfillment it seeks. Rather than experiencing fulfillment, a sense of emptiness envelops you. Rather than feeling invigorated, you find yourself depleted. Moreover, this hurried approach instills in your body the notion that pleasure is fleeting, superficial, and lacking in connection. As time passes, one finds that sensitivity gradually diminishes. Arousal cannot be contained. You find it challenging to keep your engagement alive with a partner. And throughout it all, you believe it's merely the passage of time. However, it is not. It is the practice of immediacy, a practice that subtly deprives you of something far more potent than mere moments of solace. Take your time. Embrace the significance of every moment. Your body retains the ability for profound sensation, provided you allow it the freedom to experience. Inhale deeply. Stop for a moment. The concept of a finish line has vanished, merely existence. In discussing presence, it's striking how many men overlook one of the most vital muscle groups in their physique, a concealed mechanism that governs everything from the vigor of erections to the regulation of bladder function. That is on the horizon. Once you grasp this concept, your entire perspective on sexual health may transform. Mistake 4. Overlooking the pelvic floor, a concept that remains unfamiliar to many men. Nevertheless, the pelvic floor stands as one of the most essential components of your body, particularly beyond the age of 60. It serves as the bedrock for your bladder, your prostate, and your sexual organs. The concealed mechanism that drives all aspects of intimacy, from arousal to climax to bladder regulation. When this particular group of muscles is weak or overlooked, a cascade of issues begins to unfold, softly yet deeply. A man in his late 60s, a former athlete and a proud father, approached me with concerns about a decline in his sexual performance. "Doc," he said, "I am nourishing myself adequately. I engage in physical activity. Yet, there's an undeniable sense that something has shifted, that the harmony once present has faltered." Unbeknownst to him, the pelvic floor that had once thrived with strength and vitality in his youth had now slipped into a state of dormancy. Years spent in stillness, burdened by the weight of stress nestled in the lower abdomen, had rendered him estranged from that very part of himself, and grappling. Engaging in masturbation without activating your pelvic floor, or even worse, exerting pressure by bearing down, can lead to undue strain on your prostate and compromise the strength of the muscles that are meant to provide support. As time progresses, this results in leakage, dribbling, diminished erection quality, and a decline in sensation during climax. It's not an experience that overwhelms in a single moment. It slips in, silently, with the passage of each year. However, there is a silver lining. Those muscles can be reactivated. Softly engaging the muscles you would employ to halt the flow of urine during moments of arousal fosters both awareness and strength. Over time, this straightforward practice has the power to rejuvenate not just physical abilities, but also self-assurance. In discussing confidence, it's important to note that an excess or deficiency of activity in this realm can disrupt your entire equilibrium. You may find it intriguing to discover that the frequency of your self-exploration can significantly influence aspects of your experience, far beyond what you have been led to believe. Let us delve into the reasons that follow. Frequency that is either excessively high or unduly low. This is a topic that often leaves older men reluctant to engage in conversation. There are those who fret that they may be indulging in it too frequently. Some silently ponder whether they have lingered too long without. Amidst the shadows of shame, confusion, and the weight of antiquated counsel, many men over 60 find themselves traversing a solitary and precarious journey. In my experience, I have observed the following. Both ends of the spectrum can inflict damage. When a man engages in masturbation with excessive frequency, driven by habit, ennui, or unaddressed feelings, his body frequently struggles to keep pace. The energy levels begin to wane. The tissue of the prostate experiences irritation. As time passes, he might observe that the recovery process stretches out or that his desire for genuine intimacy begins to wane. It shifts from longing to a matter of habit. This numbs the nervous system and saps one's vitality. Conversely, there are those men who cease entirely. Perhaps it stems from medication, health issues, religious guilt, or simply the conviction that they have aged beyond the point of possibility. Yet, what remains unrecognized is that the body, akin to any intricate system, requires consistent circulation. The experience of sexual arousal, even in the absence of climax, plays a vital role in promoting blood circulation to the genitals, nourishing nerve endings, and sustaining erectile strength. In the prolonged absence of that element, atrophy inevitably takes hold. The longing diminishes. Suddenly, the door to connection, both physical and emotional, starts to shut without any forewarning. Perfection in numbers is an elusive concept. However, for the majority of men over 60, engaging in this activity 1 to 2 times a week, approached with mindfulness and attention, tends to be the ideal balance. It enables the body to sustain circulation, rejuvenate hormonal balance, and preserve vitality without succumbing to fatigue. Keep in mind, this transcends mere regulations. It revolves around the art of listening. In the twilight of life, your body whispers softly. Understanding how to listen is essential. However, even when the timing is perfect, a single misstep can still unravel all the advancements made. It is an action that many men perform instinctively, often unaware of the harm it inflicts on their nerves and the subtle alterations it brings to the very form of their masculinity. Allow me to present what comes next. Error 6. Applying excessive pressure or force. This is among the most frequently ignored errors I observe in older men, and it proves to be one of the most detrimental. Countless patients have expressed this sentiment. They've sat before me, a mix of frustration and confusion etched on their faces, expressing sentiments such as, "Doc, I don't feel as deeply as I once did," or "It's requiring more effort than it ever has." Yet, lurking behind those words is a quiet habit they seldom pondered, applying excessive pressure when they engage with themselves. I understand. As one grows older and sensitivity wanes, the instinctive reaction often involves gripping more firmly, pressing with greater force, or attempting to recapture that elusive sensation through heightened intensity. Yet, the reality your body seeks to communicate is this: power does not bring back sensation, it obliterates it. The nerves within your penis are particularly sensitive, especially as you enter your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Prolonged exposure to intense friction, excessive pressure, or dependence on surfaces that exert undue force can result in tangible physical harm, minuscule ruptures within the fabric, degradation of flexibility. Even the scarring that lies beneath the surface can lead to curvature, diminished blood flow, and discomfort during arousal. It transcends mere discomfort. It has the potential to alter your anatomy forever. This form of trauma operates like a quiet thief in the night. It doesn't appear in an instant. It unfolds gradually. By the moment you become aware of the change, the harm has frequently already begun to take its toll. Yet, there exists an additional dimension to this. When a man believes he must struggle for enjoyment, he severs his connection to its true delight. It transforms into a battle, rather than an experience of restoration. This mental framework has the power to transform the body's capacity to unwind and embrace tranquility. Embrace a softer method. Your body is worthy of it. Your future self will express gratitude. In the realm of disconnection, there exists a final error that transcends mere technique, reaching far beyond the physical realm. It embodies a sense of spirituality, evokes deep emotions, and resonates with a familiar experience shared by many older men. It could very well be the most destructive of them all. Let us engage in a discussion about it. Error 7. Engaging in the act devoid of feeling, bond, or purpose. This is the most elusive error of all, and frequently the most poignant. It transcends the actions you take, the frequency of those actions, and the locations in which they occur. The essence lies in the emotions that arise during the act. As the years pass, numerous older men start to perceive self-pleasure as a mechanical act, a mere routine, devoid of significance and stripped of its essence. It transforms into a serene refuge from solitude, or a monotonous routine performed absent-mindedly, devoid of feeling and purpose. Countless men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond have shared the same sentiment with me. It no longer carries the same essence it once did. Or perhaps I question the very reason I continue to try. Yet, the reality remains that while their bodies may continue to operate, their hearts are no longer engaged. There exists a void, an absence of connection, a lack of presence, and a chilling absence of warmth. The emotional distance exacts a toll, impacting not only the mind but the body as well. When detached from emotion, masturbation conditions the nervous system to anticipate pleasure devoid of intent. Your body may still reach climax, yet the release of those healing hormones from your brain and body may not occur in the same way. The absence of oxytocin leaves a void in mood enhancement, while the lack of dopamine stifles the spark of motivation. Instead, one is confronted with a feeling of emptiness, a mere echo of what the experience once embodied. Moreover, it profoundly emphasizes that pleasure is an act undertaken for the sake of enjoyment itself, in quietude, devoid of delight. Yet, it need not remain that way. Even solitary touch can embody a sense of sacredness, mindfulness, and affirmation. This moment offers an opportunity to embrace your aging body, not with shame, but with a sense of gratitude. Your body remains your own. It continues to resonate. It remains significant. Having delved into each of the 7 mistakes, it's time to synthesize our findings. The true metamorphosis unfolds when one learns to reconstruct, to rekindle strength, confidence, and vitality, regardless of age. Let us delve into the possibilities that lie ahead. Your body continues to communicate, even as you overlook the broader context. If you've reached this point, I wish to address you not merely as a physician, but as an individual who profoundly honors the path you are traversing. Throughout the years, I have observed countless admirable men grappling with their inner turmoil, often in silence. Age is the scapegoat they choose. Time is the scapegoat they choose. There are those who cast the weight of blame upon their own shoulders. Yet, the reality remains that we were never guided on how to nurture our bodies through the passage of time, particularly regarding the realms of sexuality, pleasure, and intimacy. You have just been informed of the 7 prevalent errors that older men often commit regarding the act of masturbation, and none of them arise from a place of laziness or ignorance. They arise from routine, from years spent adhering to what once proved effective, oblivious to the fact that the body, much like existence itself, evolves. With a languid flow, circulation wanes, the prostate becomes acutely aware, while the nervous system recoils from harshness and disregard. The heart yearns not merely for sensation, but for a deeper significance. Allow me to clarify. Engaging in self-exploration holds no shame. There is no reason to feel embarrassed about finding solace, ease, or even happiness within your own being. The peril arises when we cease to be vigilant, when we hurry through life, when we sever our connections, when we take for granted that what was effective in the past will remain so indefinitely. Every one of those missteps, whether it's indulging in adult content too frequently, adopting awkward postures, hurrying through the experience, overlooking the importance of the pelvic floor, engaging excessively or insufficiently, exerting too much cunning, pressure, or merely going through the motions devoid of feeling, shares a singular thread that binds them together. Separation. That is the true danger. It is neither age nor desire that dims the light, but rather the gradual wearing away of your bond with your own body, your own pleasure, and your own vitality. However, there is a silver lining. The hour is not yet lost. It is never the case. Your body continues to communicate with you, though the silence may linger, and the responses may stretch into the distance, and the essence may seem altered. Life endures. It seeks your attention, your nurturing, your reverence. Much like a vintage automobile, it requires a distinct approach as it matures. However, that does not diminish its worth. Indeed, it enhances its sanctity in numerous respects. What are your current pursuits? Begin with the basics. Embrace a softer approach. Practice greater awareness. Rediscover the terrain of your own being. Embrace purpose over routine. Embrace curiosity, rather than resorting to shame. Cease the relentless pursuit of performance, and begin to embrace the richness of sensation. Embrace the act of breathing. Allow yourself to pause and truly feel. Above all, hold on to the belief that connection remains attainable, both within yourself and with those around you. Men in their 60s, 70s, and even early 80s have transformed their health, intimacy, and energy by shifting their perspective on aging from an endpoint to a new beginning. You are worthy of that change. It is your right to experience emotions once more. One should embrace a life filled with awareness, strength, and dignity, even in the most intimate spaces of existence. It's a journey of rediscovering the subtle strength that resides deep within you. Rest assured, it remains intact. Embrace the knowledge you've gained. Weave it into your life with care, and hold on to the belief that your finest moments still lie ahead. Your choices will define how you embark on this next chapter of your life, with thoughtfulness, with insight, and with honor. If this resonated with you, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with another man who could benefit from it.